morning. I'm Dr. Sri Lakshmi. Today's my topic is medico-legal aspects in obstetrics and gynecology. India has 250 health workers per lakh population and target by 2022 is 500 per lakh. The number of surgeons, anesthetists and obstetricians per lakh people in India is 6.4 compared to 59.2 in Brazil. Where do we stand? Facility of healthcare is still a distant dream for common and poor people in India. Common causes of complaints are like intraoperative problems, 32%, failure of diagnosis or delay in diagnosis, 17%, failure to recognize complications, 7%, failed sterilization, 6%, failure to warn or inadequate consent, 5%, and performance of operation without indication is 3%. A lawsuit can happen to anyone. Before the age of 40, more than half of gynecologists have already been sued. And the potential areas of litigation in obstetrics are like they involve extensive legal and clinical knowledge in regards to examination of the obstetric patient. Antepartum care, while taking history, diagnosing, investigations and high-risk patients, subsequent visit, screening for congenital abnormalities, IUGR, intrauterine deaths, multiple pregnancy, sex selection and PCPNDT Act. Intrapartum care in injudicious administration of oxytocics, open and endoscopic surgery, mode of delivery whether cesarean or difficult vaginal delivery, drugs given during pregnancy and lactation, and also surrogacy. Potential areas of litigation in gynecology. It involves extensive legal and clinical knowledge in regards to exam of patient and taking informed consent while performing MTP, female sterilization, open and endoscopic surgery, urogynecology and assisted reproduction. Examination of a patient. Gynecologists are at high risk of false accusation. Consent prior to examination is very important. Maintain privacy during examination. Mandatory presence of female attendant or third party. Informed consent. Liable if a patient does not give informed consent to a medical procedure that results in a harm to the patient, even if the procedure is performed properly. Follow the golden rules. Engaging with the patient, empathizing with her needs, educating her as to the available options, enlisting her approval for the appropriate choice. Forensic gynecology. Gynecologists have little contact with forensic problems. Examination of the alleged victim of sexual assault as per protocols section 164A Criminal Procedure Code, domestic violence, sexual violence, etc. Exam of alleged victim or rape survivor. A female victim of sexual offence is examined only by lady doctor, that to a government lady doctor. If there is no lady doctor available, a private female practitioner at state expense can be employed, or vaginal smear can be collected by a trained female nurse and examined subsequently by a lady doctor. Diagnosis of gynecological diseases. Wrong diagnosis is a strong ground for malpractice claim. Omission of routine steps misguides to run in a wrong path. No step should be omitted in history taking and clinical examination. Suggest investigative procedures as needed. Opinion of other specialty if doubtful diagnosis. And proper menstrual history has to be taken. Coming to MTP. MTP was legal below 20 weeks under MTP Act 1971. Recently, guidelines have changed in 2020, according to which MTP can be done up to 24 weeks. Litigation may follow while continuation of pregnancy after the procedure. If excessive or continued bleeding due to incomplete evacuation, injuries or perforation to uterus, urinary bladder or gut, failure to diagnose ectopic while performing MTP, death following procedures done by a quack or unqualified persons, done at unrecognized place, or done without a consent. Consent for MTP of a woman alone is sufficient provided she is not of unsound mind and more than 18 years of age. Understand the nature, purpose and consequences of what she is consenting to. Consent of spouse is not necessary. Enough if she says that she is more than 18 years of age and no documentary proof is needed. Supreme Court directions are like MTP Act legalizes MTP only up to 24 weeks, an exemption being up to 24 weeks only immediately if it is necessary to save the life of pregnant woman. The draft bill of 2017 also allows abortion up to 24 weeks in case of fetus suffering from substantial abnormalities and pregnancy involving a substantial risk to the mother. But this is an old one. Recent guidelines according to 2020 MTP Act has been amended, which can allow obstetrician to conduct MTP up to 24 weeks. According to the petitioner in the case, the apex court observed that the mental trauma of carrying the pregnancy forward was too much for the girl and she must terminate the baby as per wish. And the case, in a case in which 13-year-old girl was raped and she was 31 weeks pregnant, to abort the fetus. Consent to other procedures. Spouse consent for sterilization on therapeutic grounds is not necessary in law. Patient not living with a spouse, the consent of the patient is all that is necessary. Consent of both the spouses is necessary for tubectomy and of her husband in case of abortion, in case of contraception failure or rape. Discuss with husband if married the proposed operation if time and circumstances permit. Every endeavor should be made to obtain his consent to MTP unless the patient expressly forbids it. Consent to other procedures. If single, no consent is required from the putative father. Prudence dictates, however, that the patient should endeavor to obtain the consent of the parents of such a girl if she is living with them. Obtain the girl's authority before you seek the consent of her parents, as her wishes must always be respected. If the girl is under 18, take written consent from her parents even if she doesn't want. A termination should never be carried out in opposition of the girl's wishes, even if the parents demand it. Legal issues associated with infertility, ART, that is assisted reproductive technology, assisted conception. Possible legal problems are like artificial insemination donor, surrogacy, ovum donation, cryopreservation of embryo research. No act of in vitro fertilization or artificial insemination shall be undertaken without the informed consent of the female patient and her spouse as well as the donor, which leads to violation of the code of ethics and even professional misconduct. Violation of sex determination test, preconception and prenatal diagnostic techniques. Violation of MTP Act 1971. Even this leads to professional misconduct. 2 Nanded doctors were sentenced to 6 months imprisonment and fined 10,000 each for violating PCPNDT Act in a March 2010 case. If he or she does not maintain the medical record of his or her indoor patients for a period of 3 years and refuses to provide within 72 hours, will lead to violation of the code of ethics as well as professional misconduct. Medical records in litigation. Medical records is the basic legal document in the medical malpractice litigation. A well-organized, well-written record is the best defense. Poorly written, disorganized record is strong evidence of an incompetent healthcare provider. Poorly kept record is not in itself proof of negligence on the part of the healthcare provider, but it is proof of substandard care. Duties of physicians to their patients. Engagement for a obstetric case. When a physician who has been engaged to attend an obstetric case is absent and another is sent for and delivery accomplished, the acting physician is entitled to his professional fees but should secure the patient's consent to resign on the arrival of the physician engaged. Think twice before doing something wrong. A surgeon knot should never give away. Media is waiting to suck like a chocolate. What to do, where to do, think twice before taking a decision. 10% of conflicts are due to difference in opinion, 90% are due to wrong tone of voice. Principles of ethics. Last but not the least, dignity. Respect the person. Beneficence. First, do no harm. Autonomy. Respect the right of the individual. Privacy. Justice. Treat patient fairly without discrimination. Gynecologists have a duty to acquaint themselves with the law. Doctor-patient relationship is of the utmost faith. Conclusion. Be legally updated subject knowledge and ethical principles. Sometimes the chains that prevent us from being free are more mental than physical. Thank you.